We are finally in September. My birthday month actually. I am so excited, you guys, because one, obviously it's my birthday month, but two, the weather here in Arizona starts to drop down to like low 90s. Saca su suerita because the summers is over. It's finished. So I'm super excited for that, and we have our two big trips coming up really soon. We're going to Disney in November, and then we're going to Oregon to go watch the Duck game. So I am just so excited for this fall season. So I thought, you know what, let's create a nice fall eyeshadow look. Now I'm gonna go in, so it's gonna be a little bit exagerado and maybe a little too over the top for some of you guys, but last night I was also going through my old pictures. So if you type in my name in the search thingy or whatever on Instagram, like I pop up, and a lot of my old looks from my old Instagram account that got deleted by Instagram. Why? I have no idea. I was literally like reminiscing. I was like, I had so many good fun looks on that old Instagram account. So it really just inspired me to play with color again. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go in. So for my eyeshadow primer, I'm going to go into my L'Oreal. This is the Infallible Concealer, and I use the shade Oatmeal number 345. I think I'm gonna go into this palette, you guys. BPERFECT. The Carnaval, the Antidote palette, and I want to go into Fuego, which is this color right here. Okay, I'm gonna use my Morphe M441. Again, it is not super clean, don't judge me. I also ran out of like brush cleaner, but it has a little bit of purple, so that's good. All right, so again, we're gonna go into the shade Fuego, and I'm using a more fluffier brush, that way I can get a nice fluffy outcome. And so I'm gonna start off with applying it like right here towards the outer corner of the eye, and then we're gonna slightly bring it up into the crease. Also, when it comes to applying your eyeshadows, you want to have a very light hand, so grip it very lightly. If you go super like this with your eyeshadow brushes, it gives a more heavier application. So I always like to hold it all the way back here, and it gives a more lighter feathery application. And you guys already know me, I like to blend out the edges with whatever I have left from the brush. I don't grab more product, I literally work with what I have. And then if you want to build the intensity, then that's when you go back in and you grab some more eyeshadow. I hope my eyeshadows stand out. Since I'm not using my Urban Decay Eden primer, I do get a little nervous when playing with like really bright colors because I'm like, I hope they look good. Now I want to apply this color right here, chiKas, and it's because I want to keep it very like fall-ish, you know, and not just make like a purpley eyeshadow look, which I guess I could for Witch Hour. But we're not gonna do that. I grab that shade again using the same brush, my Morphe M441, and the only difference is that we're gonna go right above it, and then we're just going to bring this all the way towards the inner corner and then buff it towards the outer corner. Again, using very light pressure. Do you remember when these palettes were so popular back in the day, like in 2016, 2017? I feel like all the way up to 2019 is when a lot of people were still playing with like really colorful eyeshadows. PLOUISE and BPERFECT were the palettes to buy, you guys, because their eyeshadow formula is amazing. If you guys have never played with any of PLOUISE or BPERFECT eyeshadows, you guys are seriously missing out. It's a UK brand. The makeup artists back in the day, oh my god, they would create the most colorful, fun eyeshadow looks that seriously motivated me every single time to play with eyeshadows. They just have the best formula. Like, look how pretty that is. It just blends like butter. They're so pigmented too, which I freaking love. I love pigmented eyeshadows. I hate when they're chalky. If I can't blend an orange, yellow orange shade with a purple shade like I'm doing right now, then I don't want that palette. Now I'm gonna bump it up, and I'm gonna use my PLOUISE palette because of all these beautiful purple shades. And I'm gonna go into Remarkable, which is this one right here. You guys can see it's a very dark plum color. And I'm gonna use my PLOUISE brush, the 179. And as you guys can see, it is pretty dark. And with this, I only want to keep it right here. You want to move it back and forth. As you guys can see, this is where my crease is at, my natural crease. So I'm going to stop right there. And then you can extend it, but I'm not going to extend it out too much because I don't want to hide the purpley shade that we applied. And then with whatever you have left, if you want to, you can start to bring it into your natural crease very lightly. That's why it's so important to go in with a very a smaller brush than a fluffy brush to get get a precise application. And then I'm gonna go back into that brush that we used with no product, and we're just gonna buff out the outer corner. With a fluffy brush, I'm gonna hop into New Horizon. Again, this is from the PLOUISE palette, and I'm gonna hit that right in this inner corner, and we're just gonna buff it in like that. Now at this point, chikas, you're more than welcome to create a half cut crease, whatever you want, but I'm not gonna do that today. I'm just going to keep everything very like smooth and blended. And then I'm gonna hop into silver lining. This will go all over the lid. And look how pigmented that is. And you just want to place this all over that negative space. Going back to that brush with no product, we're just gonna buff out the eyeshadow. I went into Spellbound to break up that dark plum in the lavender shade right in the middle of the eye, you guys. That way we can remove that line of demarcation. For my eyeliner, I went into the MAC Blacktrack Pro Longwear Liner. I'm gonna go into this HUDA Beauty palette because I love the matte black. And I'm just gonna use the same brush that we applied the gel liner. I just cleaned it off, and we're gonna go ahead and set that liner because I do want it to be more matte. I'm gonna grab my mascara. I feel like my falsies stick onto my lashes better. At least that's what I think, and that's why I go into mascara. For my lashes, chikas, I've been really loving these LILLY lashes. This is in the style Miami Flare. I don't really know if this screams fall. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I'm loving this eyeshadow look. Even though I'm not going nowhere, I'm still gonna apply some primer. I'm just gonna take some selfies for Instagram, and that's pretty much it. I just haven't gone into this primer in a very long time, and I always forget how good this is. My Milk Hydro Grip Primer. If you have combo to oily skin like myself, you will really love this primer, chicas. I love gripping primers lately. I just love how my foundation just grips onto that primer, and it really helps my makeup last a lot longer too. And I feel like it also provides like a really nice smooth canvas for my foundation. For foundation, I'm gonna go into my Beauty Creations matte foundation. Clearly, you guys can tell that I've been using this foundation a lot. I just really love it, you guys. It's so good. It's a matte foundation. If you are combo, I feel like you will really like this. If you're oily, I feel like the NARS Soft Matte Foundation is still gonna be like your girl. This will still last, don't get me wrong, but it definitely gives a little bit more like a soft matte finish. But it literally lasts all day if you set it properly. I might wear this to the Chris Brown concert. Oh yeah, you guys, I'm going to Chris Brown. We got tickets like months ago. Fun fact, it actually lands on my birthday. So I have an outfit, but I just don't know if it's cute. You know, like, I don't know. I've been looking out on TikTok and like Instagram, and I don't see like an outfit that I'm like, ooh, screenshot, this is so cute. Like, I'm inspired like by anyone's outfits lately. And I don't really want to wear a jersey because it is the Breezy Bowl, obviously, but I don't feel like wearing a jersey. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram because you guys will see my outfit there. And we're also throwing myself a small little birthday party with my family, and I will be doing an OOTD for you guys on that as well, so make sure you stay tuned. I'm gonna go into my Milani cream contour. I love this cream contour so much. Milani cream bronzer, you guys, is so good. If you haven't played with it, you're missing out, chica. Like, honestly, I feel like it even performs better than a high-end cream bronzer. And that says a lot. So I'm gonna go into my favorite right now, the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. I'm obsessed with this concealer, you guys. It's so good. I love how it doesn't leave my under eyes dry, and it gives me the most amazing coverage. It's literally the Tarte Shape Tape dupe. You guys see how full coverage this concealer is? Oh, I love it. If you want a full coverage concealer that doesn't look cakey, dry, it literally lasts all day, you're going to really love this. And if you don't want to spend that much money, that's your girl. And then with the brush that I use to apply my cream contour, I just like to blend any harsh lines. So I went into this one. This is the Après Sky. I'm probably butchering that, but whatever. Of course, my Huda Beauty Pound Cake, and I'm gonna set the areas that we applied the concealer. And I always go into just a little bit of powder, and I just set it very lightly. I'm not gonna bake. I've been loving just pressing the powder into the skin because it gives a more natural finish, nothing cakey or heavy. My Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Bronzer bronzer, the shade 310. I've talked about this bronzer before, but I love it because it doesn't look cakey or heavy, and it really gives a nice soft blur effect, and it's not patchy, which I love. I hate patchy bronzers. I went into Blind Date and I grabbed this pinky blush. I've been loving my Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter for the longest. I'm just gonna apply it on the bridge of my nose and a little bit on my forehead. I'm going into my BISSU eyeliner. This is in the shade 01. It's just a black. I'm gonna go back into the dark plum shade that we used earlier. A more detailed brush like this, super flat and detailed. And I'm just gonna move this back and forth. So we're not gonna take it all the way towards the inner corner, as you guys can tell. Obviously, I didn't bring it all the way in. Now with the same brush, I'm gonna grab that silver lining shade, that lavender color, and we're just gonna buff it in like this. Do you guys remember the first shade we used? So I'm gonna go back into that shade Fuego, and same thing, we're just gonna buff it underneath. For my waterline, ustedes ya saben, as always. This is from Flower Beauty, and it's their Moonstone Nude Liner, and I'm just gonna pop it in. And then for my lower lashes, I'm gonna pop on some mascara. That looks so pretty. I'm really impressed since I didn't use my Urban Decay Eden primer. I know I keep repeating myself, but these eyeshadows actually blended out really well. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and slap on a lip color because I don't know what I'm doing yet. And then that's pretty much it for today's tutorial. So give me a second, I'll be back. And this lip combo, don't worry, chicas, I got you. It will be listed down below for you. So what do you guys think of this colorful glam? Let me know down in the comments. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Besitos, las amo. Bye.